Good morning, Rabbi Sai. Dear Rav Eli, from Moshe Berelsky, shidduch for the suits. Hope you had a great yom. I want to thank you for being such a great role model and being mechazik my learning. I'm fortunate to have a morning chavrusa 5 days a week and an evening chavrusa 3 days a week. This gives shmak 5 and 3. With all the busyness that comes with getting ready for Yontif and spending time with family and Chalamayit trips, there's no question that without the consistency of the daf, there would be days that would not have gotten around to learning. It's true. Many people have a hard time learning during Chalamayit. Now, I find myself learning in the car while my wife drives. I don't know. I'm just thinking now, what's a bigger sacrifice? Letting your wife drive or drive? It's a sacrifice. This is tough.
I don't know how he learns. I don't know how he learns while his wife is driving.
We went to Yerushalayim during Chalamayit. No. Seriously. Now I feel for my wife. She always tells me that the way I drive makes her nauseous. It's not. It's just when somebody else drives. This is the first time I got car sick. I was trying to prepare. Usually, I don't know. It's just the stopping and the braking. I don't know. I got to the night share here. I was literally nauseous. But I find myself learning in the car while my wife drives, even at the beach. I also finished 9 mikro v'echel for my first time. So Rabbi Sai, I didn't want to embarrass anybody last night during the Hebrew shir, and I started asking people about Shnai Mikro, actually during the English shir as well, and very few people raised their hands that they do Shnai Mikro. As if it's like, one guy in the shir asked me, in front of everybody, says, what is Shnai Mikro v'echel targum? He's a big part of the shir. So I told him what Shnai Mikro v'echel targum is, and we went through the whole thing, because yesterday we were talking about doing a siyum on one chumash, and I said, you know what, you, different people, I said, let's make a siyum, let's make a big matzav after we finish chumash bereishis. And I said over the story from Rav Nachman Seltzer right before that about the helicopter. So he goes, oh, helicopter? I said, yeah, you know what, you finish chumash bereishis, you'll fly in with the helicopter, I'll pay half, you pay half, and he's all for it. By the end of the year, he says, I already downloaded Shnai Mikro app. He knew what it was, the whole thing. So it's a great time. Today is the hardest one of the entire year because we have one day today and tomorrow to do it. People had a chashav guest. Rav Nachman Seltzer was at my house for Yontif. He sat down and he did bereishis when he was able to do bereishis. A lot of people told me that, they already did it. I'm not so lucky, but it's kedai. Today is the day, so start. And also another Eitz Taiva, it's just like the daf. If you miss a week, which you will probably during it, whatever, on vacation, skip ahead, weiter. Otherwise, you're going to be waiting for bereishis again. Yeah. I'm working on this now. What?
Can the Targum be in English?
The what? No. Targum has to be Targum. Why? That's how it is. It's a halacha Moshe Messina. The Gemara, it has to be in the language that you don't understand the word. You just say it. I'm saying, just say, start off just saying it. Thank you for all that you do for the shir, your talents and zechus Daf Beis. Now, happens to be that a lot of the words were very, what?
You could rush on until Tuesday.
Yeah. Every week, if you miss the Shnai Mikro, you have until the following Tuesday to finish it. I'm not going into all the halachas. I'm just saying, if you find yourself missing a week or two, skip forward. Shalom Aleichem. What's your name? Menashe from Tzvat. You came in this morning from Tzvat? You came in this morning, you've been here. Very nice. Shalom Aleichem. Thank you, your town says Sukkah Daf Beis, Moshe Berelsky, and here's his picture of how you enhance the walls of our Sukkah. Original pictures, his Moshe on the right and his son. It was the only kid that I remember that I lifted up like that. He was a Geshma. What? I said kid. In that Castell battle, he put the Castell on purpose, and he once gave me Castell when I was in Los Angeles. He came over with Castell, so Yishkoyach. What's the bad? Yosef, remind me. This guy, every time he says Kiddush, his kids scream out and even when he puts them into, let's help him out. Avi, you could go around. I let you go around there. Go help him. Every time he puts them to sleep, he says Kriya Shema. They also do this right? Here we go. Oh, Donnie's here. Donnie, you're almost. What?
Anytime they get anything that sounds like Rabbi Sai.
Yeah, anything Rabbi Sai. They go here. Here goes. Here goes. Okay. Rabbis, we're holding Rabbi Isai. Daf Kufchof Aleph Amud Beis, all the way in the bottom, Berel. Oh. The Masechta is sponsored for the safe and speedy return of all the hostages. Parnassa Chodesh, Lineage by Zechrya ben Moshe, Lineage by Chaya bas Yosef. Parnassa Chodesh, health and strength for Rav Eli. Thank you. Parnassa Chodesh, the Lakewood family, Lakewood NJ, because Torah is the best Segula. Parnassa Chodesh. Talking about Torah is the best Segula. Is there an Inyan to go to, let's call them not even a caver of an Achron, a caver of the Avis HaKdoshim? Is there an Inyan to go there?
Yes.
What's the Inyan?
Olive went there.
Oh, that's what I wanted to hear. That's what I wanted to hear. Today's daf, we're going to see that there's a big Inyan to go to Kivrei Avos. Very nice. Ibaylu. Eretz Yisrael l'shvatim iplug, oidilma lekarkaf gavri iplug. The last line of Kufchof Aleph Amud Beis. How was Eretz Yisrael divided? Was it divided per head? Or was it divided per shevet? Were there 12 equal parts? Like something like this. This is far from reality, but be'erech, like if it's, the map looks something like this maybe. So you give each one 100 square miles in Eretz Yisrael. Whatever, I'm just throwing it out. Each shevet gets exactly the same amount, and you'll divide it up. One shevet got lucky, they're in Yerushalayim, the other one is in Dimona. Whatever, you do it exactly the way it is, or it goes by the heads. Now, each one has to do with the machlokes we had. How do we split it? Do we divide it by leaving Mitzrayim or coming into Eretz Yisrael? So if it goes by the heads, so Eretz Yisrael is divided by 600,000 pieces, and each person that left Mitzrayim got one piece. The same exact thing, if you hold that it goes by the people that came into Eretz Yisrael, so Eretz Yisrael is divided by 3 million pieces, whatever the amount, and each person that came into Eretz Yisrael, boom, got a piece. Or no, it was just divided very, very evenly. Every shevet, we don't know, just because today one shevet has 400,000 people and the other shevet has 20,000 people, doesn't mean that the one that has 20,000 should get less. What about the future? What if they catch up eventually? Each shevet got exactly the same size. And actually that's what the Gemara ends up saying. Every shevet got the same. Toshma, Bein Rav Lamat, top of Kufchof Beis Amud Aleph. Says in the Pasuk that you do a goyrel, whether it's a lot or a few. Now, what does that mean? Rav Lamat, if you have a shevet with 1 million people and they get the same 100 square miles, that's Rav Lamat. And you have another shevet, God, I don't know what, that has a tiny little 20,000 people, 100,000, whatever the numbers are, that's Ma'at. In Rav Lamat, they get the same amount. That makes a lot of sense. But if each and every individual got a share, the same size, everybody gets 100 square feet times 600,000 or times 2 million, whatever it is, what's Rav, what's Mad, what's a lot, what's many, what's few? Voi Tanya. And here it goes. This is a very, very long question, like a Gadata. It's going to tell us a bunch of interesting things. All the way at the end, we're going to have the question. Basically, we're searching within these words whether or not Eretz Yisrael was divided per person or per shevet. So we don't even have to go very far here. Pretty much right over here, we can even see that here the question is developing. That Eretz Yisrael is going to be divided by 13 parts, not 600,000 pieces. What does it mean? 13 parts. So that the Gemara is going to go into. So this we could stop right over here and explain. How many shvatim are there? 12. When it's divided by 12 shvatim, we know it cannot be literally by the 12 shvatim that we know of, because Levi didn't get anything. Levi got their cities, whatever, little pieces, but they didn't get a nachla. So it's really 11 shvatim, and Yosef is 2, Ephraim and Menashe, so we have 12. Later on, I'm just going to preface this. Later on, when we talk about 13 pieces, it changes a lot. Ephraim and Menashe is only 1. Yosef only gets 1. So that's 11. Now we're missing 2. So one of them is going to be Levi. Levi's going to get a whole Lasalava. You're going to get a whole Nach like everybody else. And number 13 is going to be Melech HaMashiach. Mashiach himself. is going to receive a portion like everybody, like the entire Shevet. One guy, one person, not a guy, one Mashiach is going to get an enormous piece in Eretz Yisrael. He's going to have to share it a little bit with the Beis HaMikdash, but he's going to get a thing. This is all part of the question. We're getting there, but at this point means that if I got a very valuable piece, I have a piece of property that overlooks the Kotel, and you never got Yerucham, so I have to give you, you have a thing in Tifrach, I have to give you $1 million out of my pocket. I have to come out of pocket and pay you. So now you got a Yerucham and $1 million. That's what it means right now. Bekesef. Shenemar bein rav lemat. Valuable, a lot, a little. Omer Yehuda, and this is not coming to argue, this is coming to explain. Sabi Yehuda, you should know. And this Adayim Hazeh. 1 acre in Yerushalayim, Yehuda, Shava Chamish Saim Begalil. It's worth 5 times the amount than the Galil. And everybody received there was no fighting, there's no complaining. There's a Gairel. That's what came out, It's not the Gairel, it's the person that wins the Gairel. Shenemar Ach Gairel. It says only through a lottery. We just learned it yesterday. Where? Huh? Tumecha v'urecha. Urim v'tumim. What's Urim v'tumim? Here. It opened up. There was a piece of parchment that went in with the Shema Yisakdoshim, and then it closes, and then it starts lighting up. It lights up. So it would say like, here, Naphtali. Boom. Naphtali. What else does, maybe has, okay, fine. Urim v'tumim. So how did it work? Shenemar, al pi hagoyrol, hakeitzad, how did it work? Elazar melubash urim v'tumim. Elazar, the kohen, had the urim v'tumim on him, on his chest. V'Yeshua v'chol Yisrael oindim lefanav, and Yeshua and the rest of Klal Yisrael stand in front of him. V'kalpi shel shvatim, v'kalpi shel tchumim munachim lefanav. He had 2 boxes, a bunch of pieces of paper that said all the names of the shvatim. We're doing a raffle now. He has to stick his hand in and pull out 1 shevet. And in another box is 12 parts of Eretz Yisrael. All this is the question, not a question, an answer. You see from here that they divided Eretz Yisrael by the Shvatim, only 12. So it's a very interesting thing happened. Elazar would say, by the way, I'm about to pull out Zvulun from the box. And I'm about to pull out from the other box what Zvulun is going to get, which is Akko. Which is not really Akko, but for now the Gemara calls it Akko. Fine. And then he in fact went ahead and he did it, and it came out. So it was a double. There was a backup to the lottery. If you want to say, like last year we did a raffle for a free room in the Shabbaton, and we do the raffle, and who comes out? Jonathan Stefansky. And everyone's like, oh, here we go. He's meddling with the raffles already. So you don't want people talking about the Elazar. He gave his best friend, he gave him Yerushalayim. He had a little fight with the Chas V'Shalom, but I'm saying, that's how it goes. People start saying, why did I get here? Why did I get there? I want there. No, I'm going to say what I'm going to pick out of the box. We're going to go like this. I'm going to mix up the box, and the first one that's going to come out is Zvulun. Sticks in it. How do I know? Because it says on the Urim V'tumim. It says over here. It says, it pops out, Naphtali. That's Ruach HaKodesh, Naphtali. And then he sticks his hand into the box and pulls out Naphtali. She can't argue. There's no argument. It's a double nace. Ruach HaKodesh says, I'm going to pull out Zvulun from the box. From the second box, he's going to get Akka. And then he mixes up the box real well, the box that has all the names of Shvatim, and in fact, Zvulun pops out. And then he mixes up the box of all the properties, the Tchumim in Eretz Yisrael. According to Rashi, the actual piece of paper scream the name, something like that. There's a double screen.
So what was his Ruach HaKodesh and what was coming from the Urim and Tumim?
No, the Urim Tumim is the Ruach HaKodesh. That's
everything and everything?
yeah. Right before he picked it,
It would say also
Chumako. Yeah.
That's also Ruach HaKodesh. Yeah, Ruach HaKodesh.
No, what he would say.
No, he just says over from the Urim and Tumim.
That's my question. Yeah.
Oh, I understand.
That's what I was
Yeah. The Ruach HaKodesh comes from the Urim and
It's
Tumim.
not that he's predicting it.
No.
Okay.
Not Reb Chaim Kanievsky. This is Urim Betumim. It pops up. He's saying the Urim. You have to also know how to read it because it's like you see how it says. It says funny things here. Top left corner. Levi Reish Hey Mem. So you have to. I guess there's a little bit of a. But he said this is what's going to happen. He translates the lighting up of the thing. Doesn't say Akko over here. Where does it say Akko? Naphtali it says. He says, I'm about to say Naphtali. Here, the next one. That's the next. Torba Kalbi Shel Shvatim V'Olav Yisari. That's in the beginning. Where do you say? Where do you read that?
No. But
Why did he have to say it?
That's why I explained. I just explained it.
He's saying it, I'll be the Urim B'Tumim. He's reading the Urim B'Tumim, and he's saying it.
You have to read the Urim Betumim. Right, the Urim Betumim.
Okay.
V'choizer mechaven beruach hakodesh v'omer Naphtali oilo. I'm about to pull out Naphtali. Utchum ginoisar oilo imoy. And ginois is going to come up. Interesting. I actually learned this with Reb Nachman in the morning, and he what is ginoisar? I don't know exactly what ginoisar is. Ginoisar is I remember we learning ginoisar is like these fruits that was sweet fruit. And take a look. Then afterwards I did Shnai Mikra V'Echad Targum of Zaysa Bracha, and here it is. Naphtali Omar, Mamish, this is Naphtali. We're talking about Naphtali. Svar Asunu Olei Birkas Hashem Yom V'Yom V'Darim Yirasha, says the Targum. Myra V'Yom Ginoisar Darim Yirasha. The Kinneret is called Ginoisar. Yam Ginoisar. That's what it's called in Unkelus. Ginoisar. Oh, there's a place called Ginoisar right now by the Kinneret, but he calls it Yam Ginoisar. Yam. This is the Kinneret is called in Lashon Unkelus. It's called Ginoisar. Anyways, so to answer your question, you see how you can read this tzaddik, read Rabbi Schwartz, read these words, and you'll see that you know a lot more than you think you know. It's part of it. It's when you learn Gemara, it gets easier, I guess. Torav Bekalbi is just kiss from, another kiss from Hashem, not on the same madrega as it says Shabbos Bereshis on Daf Kuf Chaf Aleph on the top, Shabbos Bereshis. But it's still, sir, in this week's parasha. Torah Bekalbi Shel Shvatim V'Olav Yodi. I mean, all the Shvatim are in the parasha. Torah Bekalbi Shel Shvatim V'Olav Yodi Naphtali. He mixed up the box and he popped out Naphtali. Torah Bekalbi Shel Tchum V'Olav Yodi Tchum Ginoisar. Great. V'chein kol Shevet. He repeated this 12 times, I guess. So just to explain, the Olam Haba in this reference is not to the Olam Haba up there. Olam Haba means in the future when Mashiach comes. We'll still be down here in this world, but there'll be a different division of land. Now, in this generation, time when they did Chalukas Haaretz, with Yeshua is going to be different than the Chalukah of Olam Haba in the future when Mashiach comes. A person that has a nice, this is what he got from Yeshua. He got a wheat field. He's not going to have pomegranates and grapes. They paradise and love. And if what he inherited was a place to plant a paradise, he's not going to have a white field. But when it comes in the future, there's going to be a nace. It's going to be different. Everybody is going to get a piece in all types. You're going to have the mountaintop, you're going to have the valley, you're going to have what is it called? How do you say shvela? The Emek is in the valley. The what? Lowlands. Okay. I was just thinking today, how do you understand it today? Like we don't have fields. We're not gonna. Maybe we will have fields. It'll just grow. We'll all have fresh produce. But if you live in Ramat Beit Shemesh, you can understand. There's people that live in the penthouses. They love it. They have the view. And the people that live on the first floor, they love it even more. They don't have to climb all those stairs on Shabbos. They have a larger chutzner, like a bilyak. So a garden, the whole thing. Oh, like Rabbi Schoenberg, he has an esrog tree. If you live in a penthouse, you can have an esrog tree, really. In time of Mashiach, you can have both. You can have the garden and then the top. You can have the view and then the garden. You'll have a striking downstairs and the view upstairs. Okay? Where do we say this in Zmiris on Shabbos? This line right over here. Let's give a haru b'shofen, haru b'shofen, navavavlo, umunucha, shemesh lo yizachor, ashoy meshavot, abedim avas, l'kayira tzigimicha machmas, di-di-da-da-da-da-da. Let's see. Nachla, what? Nachla loy yiske, loy with a vav. Nachla loy yiske. We're gonna have a nachla bahar ubashafel. These words, bahar, bashfela, ubeemek. Zog the Hilly Gemara. Shenemar, how do we know? It says Shar Ruvain Echad. Echad means equal. Shar Yuda Echad. Everybody got equal. Reuben got equal. Yuda got no. You can't complain that he got more or less. Shar Levi Echad. Even Levi got equal. Hakadosh Baruch Hu mechalik lahem ba'atzmos. So I guess this may be where the Rashbam got it. It says in first that Levi is going to get a nachla in the future. And who divides it? Hakadosh Baruch Hu ba'atzmos. Shenemar ve'elam machlekosam ne'um Hashem. Oh, and finally, here's the raya. It says that in the beginning, there was a division of 12 shvatim, not 600,000 pieces, 12 pieces. And then each Shevet had to break their head and figure out who got what. But we're giving you over here. You get on the ocean front, you get over here, I'm just thinking about that one Shevet. No, you get from Ashkelon to this. So you get all water property, you get jet skis, the whole thing. You get your Shalai in this. You, Dimona, this, that. Oh, vey. It's like
they have nukes. What?
There's no nukes.
The nukes of the Shem.
What?
It was strips.
I don't know how it worked. I don't know. I guess it was all fair. It was all fair. Whatever it was fair.
If you came from Morocco, you went to Dimona.
You're a racist, you. And you Ashkenazi, where did you get? You got Kotel View from. What did you get? You got the surfing land. Well, David Agal has to go from Akko all the way to the. How does he surf now? Zod Gemara. One thing I know for sure. This individual right over here, he got tzvat. There's no shayla. He's no idea. Tani mi yeshiv etchila l'schaga l'shnei was shvatim shma mino. Shvatim influx. You see over here, it's divided by 12. Shvatim shma mino. Omar Mar. Asida eretz Yisrael shelitzchali shleishos shvatim. It's going to be divided 13 ways. Why? Levi is going to get a share, and Menashe and Ephraim are not going to receive a share, and therefore Yosef has one. That's 12. The problem is idach laman. What's the 13th share? Omer Rav Chisda la Nasi. It goes to the Melech HaMashiach, says the Rashbam. Nasi means Melech HaMashiach, which there was the Ramatkal in Eretz Yisrael saw a guy with a patch. It said Mashiach. He said, no, not here. And they say, I don't know if this is true, but I heard somebody wrote in that it said MDY. He said, we have those MDY patches for those who need. He had no idea what it was. He thought it was one of the All right, huh? The elite unit. Yeah. That the Gemara understands Yavdu means that they will give a part of their land to Mikol Shivti Yisrael from all the Shvatim, they'll give to the Mashiach. Who told you that the word Yavdu means to give a piece of land? The simple meaning is Emo Rungur Ba'alma, just workers. Yavdu, they're going to literally work for the Mashiach. No, that can't be the Pshat. And the leftover of the land that you give the Nasi, the Mashiach, that goes for the Beis Hamikdash, for other things, but we're talking about land here, we're not talking about people working for him. And you have to add money if you get a nicer piece. What does it mean? If we're talking about valuable real estate versus non-valuable real estate, so I get the top. Some people zechus. My sister-in-law was in a person owns like a better view than Esha Torah, like right there, like overlooking. They own an apartment there. The Rabbi Didi Kramer's grandfather owned an apartment there. He sold it. He thought he made, he made a nice revach. $50,000, unbelievable. Back in the 70s or 80s, people owned there. Today, how they was it? So let's say you get lucky, you can get that view. You get a view of Arabais. Another guy gets whatever in another place, not so geshmak. So the guy that gets not so geshmak, he's going to pay the difference. We're talking about stupid people. Money is not going to do it here. You're talking about for generations upon generations. This is lo'elam haba. This is forever, eternity. So you get a great piece, and you're going to pay a guy $100,000. That's not fair. The other guy, why would the guy agree to that? The other guy. So you have to say no. That in value, they both have the same value. This guy gets, 20 feet overlooking the kaisel. That's his whole slot. The other guy gets a square mile, and he can do a ton of stuff. In terms of value, they have the same exact value on the market. Just what? There's two things going on here. Since it's far away, what are the problems? What can you guess? What's the problem being far away from Yerushalayim? Problem number one is you're far away from Yerushalayim. You have to travel all the time to get to the kaisel. Now, in those days, is donkeys. In the future, it's going to be drones. Just you're there. But there's another problem. It says that it's far away from Yerushalayim, so it's not as protected. It has the enemies from the other side. So for that you have to make up. In terms of the real estate value, it has the same value. But in terms of distance, you have to make up the distance with cash. So this is in fact the machlokes. How do you pay the difference? With money. No, you can't pay with money. It's not going to work with money. You have to give more land. Ach begoyel means only with the lottery. Yatsu Yeshua b'Kalev. They're not in the Gerel. Yeshua and Kalev, the ones, the Meraglim that were not the Meraglim, they went with the Meraglim. They were tzaddikim. They didn't have a Gerel. As the Gemara, what does that mean? If it means that they didn't receive any land at all, we just learned the other day that Kalev and Yeshua, they were able to inherit the Meraglims, all the Meraglims' land. According to one sheet, the Mislain in him also. They do mibaya. What? They didn't get land. They didn't receive land on their own. They took from other people. They didn't get their own. Of course, they got their own. They didn't receive it the same way everybody else did. Hashem gave it to them directly. Yeshua received the city he wanted. What was it? As Timnas Serach Bahar Ephraim. Daf Kufcha Beis. Amud Beis, hold on. Ksiv Serach Ksiv Cheres. Same letters. Samach Reish Ches. Serach means doesn't smell great, and Cheres means a piece of earthenware. Before Yeshua wanted this land, its fruit were dry like a piece of earthenware. Imagine a dried out apple, garnish. The fruit became so beautiful and juicy is the word, I guess. Juicy that it would spoil. The way you have a hard rock, you put it away. You have a potato, you just leave it there for 2 months. But it was so juicy that because like a good date, right? A good date, if you don't put it in the fridge, it gets ruined in a few days. Those dried out dates, they put them in a bag. They don't even refrigerate them. They last forever. So over here, masrichim is good actually. It went from being a dried out fruit to a nice juicy fruit. Vigidamri, it's the reverse. B'tchila masrichim. Before Yeshua received this land, so it didn't have a long shelf life. It would spoil quickly. And later on, the fruit changed that it had a longer shelf life. In other words, the cheres in this case is actually better for it. And Kalev received Chevron, like Moshe spoke. He took Chevron and he was able to beat the 3 giants. So where exactly did Moshe speak? They gave Kalev Chevron where Moshe spoke. So the pasuk says in Dvarim, it says Zulasi Kalev ben Yefuna hu yirena v'lo yeten asaretz asher dorach ba, the land that he stepped in. So says the Rashbam, Kashadim veichen diber, say v'lo yeten asaretz asher dorach ba ulevanav v'zui Chevron shedorach ba kedashinu ba'agada v'yov yad Chevron melamed shenishtateach Kalev. He went to Ma'aras HaMachpelah and he davened there. So here the Rashbam brings it that there's an Inyan to go to Kiryat Tzadikim to daven. We're talking about Tzadikim, Adam Rishon, greatest man, Avraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov. You go to the Kiryat Tzadikim, but it's Mavur here. Chevron. As the Gemara, Ir Miklat having. It's an Ir Miklat. Who owned the Ir Miklat? Levi. So what's he doing? What's Kalev doing in Hebron? Rabaya Parvareha. The province, the outsides, the outskirts of Hebron, not the actual Hebron. Hebron is the Ir Miklat. What Yeshua received was the outskirts, the Chsivis, the Irvis, Chatzireha, and also the Kalev Yifuna Bachuzasai. Zok, the Heilige Mishnah, Echon Abem, Echon Abbas Benachla. So we have to pay attention to the words because that's the sugya really. How do these words fit in? First of all, we don't understand what's going on here.
No, we didn't.
Oh, yeah, you have to do sponsors. That's why we have a professional.
Yeshua to color, because it says Yeshua and it says color. Who got Chevron? It says Kalev in the pasuk and the Mepharshim.
Yeah.
Yeshua.
No. Kalev, the Chsiv, the Kalev is Chevron.
I know, but he says in the parish over here.
Yeah.
That it's Yeshua.
Where?
In my, he's
your
him a few
thing.
times. Yeah, like he brings him to Yeshua. I don't know who it
says in your parish.
Yeshua. So he says no, it was Moshe gave it to Yeshua because he gave him the parva. Then he goes back to Kalev. I'm just trying to understand it. It's a mistake. Twice. He,
he has almost the same. He has the same as others,
yeah,
you know.
He doesn't mention Yeshua. Okay, good.
The Belsky family, in memory of Simcha Berel, Dovid, Elchanan Ben Moshe, Kidnovations, in honor of my uncle Elchanan, Pressman, and Fishel, should be a zechus for Akiva Simcha Ben Fayga. It should be a zechus for Akiva Simcha Ben Fayga, shidduch for Rav Eli Chaya, and thank you to Rav Stefansky for selflessly giving up her husband for the cloud. It should be a zechus for a year filled with maz, bracha, tzlacha, Parnassa, refuah. Says the Mishnah, Echon Abem, Echon Abbas Benachal. Son and a daughter are equal when it comes to Yerusha. So right away we know that this is not as is. We know that a son and daughter are not equal. If there's a son and daughter, who inherits? A son. So what are you telling me they're equal? And then the Mishnah says something very interesting. Ella. Ella always means, however, there's a difference. You tell they're equal, but there is a difference. What's the difference? Shaben noito pishnayim b'nichsei av ve'eino noito pishnayim b'nichsei. You just told me a difference in the son himself. Sometimes he inherits twice. Sometimes he inherits regular. If it's his mother, he only gets one. And if it's his father, he gets 2 portions if he's a Bechar. You start off saying the son and the daughter are equal. However, when it comes to inheriting a father, It doesn't even mention the daughter here. What's however? You want to compare a son and a daughter, and then you tell me there's a difference between a father and a mother. When a Bechar inherits a father, he gets double. When he inherits a mother, he gets one. But that's not a Ella. It doesn't flow. Something's wrong here. Or we don't understand it. Not wrong. We have to understand it. So we're going to try 4 times, and the 4th one, we're going to get it. The Habanos and the daughters, Nizanis V'Nichseyav, that's in the Ksuba, that a husband promises his wife that if she has daughters and he passes on, they will have where to find food. It's part of the Ksuba. It actually comes before the Yerusha. It's like a chiv that the father gives his kids. And they are not provided from the mother's pockets, from the father. So now the Gemara says, what does it mean exactly? If you tell me that if a father had 2 kids, one was a boy, one was a girl, they inherit equally 50-50, that we know, I'll just remind you, the Yoshi did a beautiful thing here. You have a father who passed away, so you go to his son, and if there's no son, you keep on searching, you go to his son, then you go to the daughter. But it's son, not daughter. Sorry. Then you go to the son and you go to all his offspring, so all before the daughter. Simon Nafshon. So there's 4 Amiroim that say Pshat. First one is Nun, Rav Nachman. Rav Nachman bar Yitzchak Kaki Kama. Echad HaBen ve'echad HaBas, Noitlim bero'ui ki b'muchzak. We know that if somebody dies and people owe him money, and then the people that owe him money pay it back, do the children inherit that money? Anybody? Do they inherit it? They inherit it. But it's Roi. It's only future.
You said he paid it back.
Yeah, okay, I just want to make sure. On the double part, the Bechar doesn't inherit. But on just the regular part, you inherit. Geshmak Shayla, we're going to get into tomorrow. Money in the bank. Guy dies, he has $10 million in the bank. Halavai. $10 million in the bank. Is that Roi or that's Muchzak? The Bechar wants 2 parts of that $10 million. And the other guys say, no, it says in the Torah that a loan, you don't get anything from the loan. Maybe giving money to the bank is like a loan. You lend them. What does the bank do with your money? They take it and they invest it. They put it in real estate. They put it here. They put it there in the stock market. It's a loan. You want it, they'll give it back. But it's a loan. It's easy to get. Or you can say, no, people say, but it's so easy. It's 99. There's FDIC. So 99% of the time, you're going to get your $10 million back. It's mamish there. It's ki'ilu's there. So which one is it? Roi or Mughzak? Huh? Shh, that's Hillel. Hillel, what's the...
This is a machlokes.
This is the machlokes. Yeah, he's probably right. Especially if Rabbi Shomer agrees. Yeah. You do. You need a heteriska on it too. If your bank is Jewish, you don't need a heteriska. Probably need a heteriska.
Banks make it.
Right. Correct. Why?
You don't make it.
Right. Why? Because it's a loan. So if it's a loan, it says in the Torah, it's right. The guy says, I have bad news, like he's dying. His son says, take all your money out of the bank immediately. Take it out. He comes with suitcases. What are you doing? I have reasons. It's a zechus to live longer. Just put all your $10 million, pile it up next to your bed. What?
Cash is a safe.
Why? Come on. No, I don't. No, that's. So I don't want. I just want the notes. The boy, the son only wants notes. He doesn't want cash. He doesn't want cash value. He wants bank notes. He wants a bunch of promissory notes. If there's no son involved, obviously all these things you have to say. You have to just stick in. If there's no son, then the daughter also inherits roi, things that are futuristic, kibbeh. As the Gemara Nami Tanina, we learned that as well. That was our mission we had just recently, that the daughters of Slavcha, they inherited 3 parts. Benachla. What do they inherit? Their own father. They inherited their father, and they also inherited their grandfather. Now, it's very possible, says the Rashbam, that their father died before Chefer. It doesn't mention that he died after Chefer. If it was so important, then we should have known. The Torah should have told us. The Gemara should have told us. It's very possible that Slavcha died before Chefer. Yet, the daughters inherited through their father a futuristic thing, something their father could have inherited, and they inherited it. So it's could have. So says Gemara of Oid, and this is important. My Ella. So just where is it? Here, in case you're too lazy to look at your own Mishnah. It says Echad ben ve'echad bas. We're talking about there is no difference between a son and a daughter, and then it says Ella, but there is a difference when it comes to the son taking two portions in the father's nechasim versus the mother's. So what's Ella? According to you, it's not explaining the second part of the mission. It's not explaining the first part. Ella Amar Rav Papa Hachikamar. What he means to say is they're equal, that they take a portion of the b'chayra. Hanami Tanina. So first of all, as we're going to see in a second, he doesn't answer the second problem, the Ella. He doesn't even address it. It's still the same problem as the Gemara is going to say. So the Rashbam says maybe Rav Papa didn't even know that Rav Nachman said it. He's just saying his own pshat, or maybe no, he's not even addressing it. Hanami Tanina. It says by B'nai Slavcha, in that same Mishnah, we see that the daughters inherited two parts of B'chayra. Why? We explained there that it's not considered Roi, it's considered Muchzak, it's considered as if their father had it. Why? Because Hashem promised it. So if Hashem promises, it's much stronger than a bank. It's mamish there. What are you telling me, a chiddush in our mission? This whole mission is extra. If you just tell me that a daughter inherits two parts of a B'chayra, that we already had. Void, my Ella, you still didn't address the Ella, how the second part of the Mishnah has to do with the first part of the Mishnah. You want to tell me a new halacha? Great, but don't say the word Ella. Ella means whatever you just finished saying, but there's an exception to the rule. It's not an exception that a son inherits two parts versus one part in his mother. It has nothing to do with the ratio that says that the son and the daughter are the same. Very interesting stuff here. Is a father permitted to look at all his sons and say, you know what, I want to give everything to my favorite son? Is he allowed to do that? She sounds familiar. Are you the favorite son?
Too many movies.
Oh, you see, Rebbe.
You said a dirty word. We don't say that word here.
You see, Rebbe is choosing any son they want to make the Rebbe. That's giving them everything.
Okay, that's Ruchnius. That's
Ashmius, man.
So
but Rosh Hashivas, they'll say, hey, this guy is he's the most lumdish guy. I want to pick him. Okay, anyway, you're saying it's not a great recipe for peace and harmony. Okay.
Right now.
But you have to do it. If a Rebbe doesn't do it, then it's even worse. Then the sons will fight. Like this, at least they know, boom. No? Who's going to take over a melucha? You have to appoint the king, a Rebbe, a Rosh Hashiva. Or some Rebbes, I thought, I just read, the Kloisenberger said, you're in Netanya, you're in New York. They do it, okay.
That's very good.
Void. So if you take your sons and you say, I want to give the Yerusha to one son out of all the sons, is that okay? Yes. Why? Because they're all available for Yerusha right now. And if he says one daughter out of all the daughters, it's okay. You know when it's not okay? When you say, the uncle should inherit everything, not my sons. Even though the uncle could possibly one day inherit if there's no sons, but today there are sons. Sons are before. So by him saying that the uncles are going to inherit, that's us, or why? That's Masa Mashikas B'Torah. So that's what the whole mission is coming to tell us. That's like a future mission of Kuf Lamed. Might be kedai to see this mission over there. If I can find it. Oh, here. Here's the Mishnah. That's the Tanakhama. If he's a son available to inherit right now, the var of kayamim. So what are you doing? You're repeating. You're doing a Mishnah Daf Kuf Chav Beis that basically this is an anonymous Mishnah, and it's going to be a machlokes in Daf Kuf Lamed. So maybe the pshat is you wanted to say in the anonymous Mishnah, our Mishnah, to say like you should know there's going to be a little bit of a shiloh over there. Is there machlokes? Not a machlokes. I'm telling you, there's no. We passing like this, like Rebbitzen Stefansky. But the problem is that's called a stam, anonymous. And then after anonymous Mishnah, you have a machlokes stam. If it's the reverse, you have a machlokes on Daf Kuf Chav Beis. And Daf Kuf Lamed, we're going to have another Mishnah that's going to be anonymous. So that means Rebbe decided to pass like one of the Tanaim in the Mishnah Daf Kuf Chav Beis. But so over here it's the opposite. We have an anonymous, and then we have a machlokes later on, so we don't pass it like that. The Rashbam just explains very nicely. So if it's like that, so then why do you have an anonymous Mishnah? Just take it out, erase it. Machlokes later on Daf Kuf Lamed Shalom Yisrael. No, because for generations upon generations, everybody was reviewing the Mishnah like as is. Once it's already in the system, you can't take it out. Void my Ella. Again, we didn't help anything. So this is the end of the sugya. Very, very simple. A son and a daughter could inherit equally. If there's no sons, the daughters inherit equally, like the sons. Ella, and here this does make sense. It does continue that line. Ella, there is an exception. They're not 100% equal. The son inherits twice, 2 parts of the father's, but not 2 parts of the mother. Aboisai, have a wonderful Shabbos. What? Same time, 9:30. They didn't move the clock yet.